And we also want to say what's the scoops to our first guests from the American Diabetes Association. We welcome Alan E. Parsa, MD, FACE. I'll ask you about that. And the Executive Director, Naomi Manuel. Aloha and mahalo, you guys. Your cousin Alvaro.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
All right, cuz we'll come to you in a minute. But Dr. Parsa, let's start with you, if you don't mind. Of course, November is American Diabetes Month. And it affects so many people. I read in the stats that nearly 1 in 2 Americans has diabetes or pre-diabetes. How are we doing here in Hawaii? What's our stats like compared to the U.S. nation?
Unfortunately, we're not that much different from the general United States. There's about 10% of the island population has type 2 diabetes. The other side of it, of the island population, if you look at the, Native Hawaiians, Japanese, Filipinos, it's more like 14%. Wow. So there's a much higher risk in a lot of the people who live here in the islands than there are in other parts of the U.S.
Wow, that is some staggering numbers, Kumu.
Yeah, that is, I was pre-diabetic until I was able to lose weight, and get better with my eating and so forth. So, but I mahalo the work that you guys are doing. Naomi, the American Diabetes Association Hawaii chapter does a lot of amazing work educating our communities about diabetes and ways to prevent this disease. Can you tell us about some of the local programs that you folks offer?
Yeah, we have a few local programs. In fact, this weekend we have our Kiki Camp called Camp Heola Kikiki. Oh. Yeah, it's for kids across Hawaii living with pretty much type 1 diabetes, but living with diabetes. And it's an overnight weekend camp where kids get to learn about their condition, they get self-advocacy, they have fun. Dr. Parsa here is a volunteer for the whole weekend with our kids and is the medical director. We have State of Diabetes coming up. It's a panel discussion covering the costs of obesity and diabetes. So that's going to be next week Friday on World Diabetes Day at Queens Medical Center, Kamehameha Auditorium. Please, register. It's free.
Oh, it's free.
It's free to the public.
Okay.
Yep. So it's free to the public. We also have a bunch of other,
you guys have the walk, the step out walk.
Yes.
But that's next year.
It's next year, but it's early next year. So it's March 21st, 2026 at Kapiolani Park. Start a team, fundraise. The fundraising dollars that come from our Step Out Walk goes to the research, advocacy that we do. We have a huge advocacy team fighting for, the rights and access to care for all people living with diabetes.
Wow, this is some great resources.
Awesome. Tell us, how else can we help raise awareness for American Diabetes Month while also supporting the Hawaii chapter?
Oh, whether it's donating, sharing your story, and spreading awareness about diabetes, or joining an event in person, like I just mentioned before. Every contribution in any capacity makes a huge difference to people living with diabetes here in Hawaii.
Wow, thank you so much for everything you guys do. And as Kumu Mehana said earlier, thank you for your support of, especially, like you mentioned, that 14% of our Native Hawaiian population having to deal with this in our families. So again, mahalo. If people want to get more information, we got the information up on the screen, diabetes.org. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining us.
Thank you.
Now this is going to be a tough transition because we're just talking about diabetes, and today is National Candy Day, gang. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I just realized this, and we're showing some of the snacks over here now. This is the focus of our You So Welcome My question. Yes.